November 20th, 2023, Durango Dank here. Matt Medeiros, at Matt Medeiros, YouTube handle by Durango Dank, Wealth News, GP7A. When you understand how organic content works, what I do, because I'm a handle developer, all handles, Google, X, Twitter, you name it, I put my dib on it a long time ago because we were building that out. And I knew YouTube was going to make a switch, but they don't tell anybody because they don't have to. And they tell only the developers and the ones that are paying attention. Anybody can do anything they want on YouTube. And the thing that people don't understand is that, and I think that YouTube, when they start to offer more services, realizing that that there would be people that would actually pay to become better YouTube developers. You know what I mean? That would pay to be better stewards of Google. And we have Google businessdeveloper.com. We created the Google compliance officer. And the Google compliance officer, we are civil. We have a badge, everything. And we can't arrest, but we can work with law enforcement to extract content from the cloud. That's badass. So one of the situations that happened with us, and it brought us to this moment, is that one of my Grammy-nominated engineer, he his father passed this year. We're working in a studio, and I know when my pop died, he adopted me. And I remember when he died, I had a couple friends say, "Well, it's not like he was your real dad." They weren't my friends anymore. Anyways, so what happened is Pop died, his dad, and Mom did. They're elderly, and his mom never took care of anything but the father, and they had a happy life, and they had all these assets. And his dad died, his Pop died, and Mom didn't know what to do, so everything went into probate. And now he had to go live somewhere else and everything. But the fact that he's helping his mom, that's badass. I love my engineer, man. He is so badass. But that right there, just yeah, dude, I'll go wherever you go. I'm your client for life. But he was trouble because even he didn't know what to do, and so really quick it goes right into probate. And see, they could have had these trusts and some other kind of um, uh, platforms in place to make it easier for mom to survive and know what's going on with her life, because the father was able to get him a wealth management person that and when you think about wealth management people, a lot of them, they charge, they don't, you're paying like $3,000 for a consultation, right? So at 3,000 bucks, or maybe some get 10, it depends on who you're with, and the money goes into a trust account, and then they bill off of that. So the reason why they take the big money like that is because they want to make sure that you're liquid and that you're serious about hiring someone like that. Their whole life is about keeping you and your family safe. So we went to wizardknowsalltellsall.com, and I came up with a name, a company that's compatible, everything. And I went to the website. I saw the book, The Wizard, right then. I knew, man, AI had my back. But just because I know it doesn't mean they know it. So anyway, so I looked up Matty, and that's what I call Matt's, because Matthew Perry passed, and I remember him when he was young back in the 80s when I was in Hollywood living there. And drove my little 77 Corvette, heavy metal singer slash journeyman painter, custom homes, you name it, we did it. So, anyways, right now as you look, there's other guys named Matt. But what the key point here is the YouTube. how I built it, post status, WordPress. See how that goes? Now, I don't know which Matty. I know it's not him. I'm pretty sure it's not him. But as you scroll down, here's this guy, Matt. 12 years, over 12 years. That's a long time. But is that 12 years, like when I used to hire painters? Guy, how much experience do you have? Oh, I've been painting for about 5, 6 years now. Really, what are some of your jobs? Well, the first year I painted my mom's bathroom. And the year after that, I painted my sister's bedroom. The year after that, I painted the whole inside house of my best friend's one-bedroom apartment. And then my fourth year, you get where I'm going with this? On the internet, it's easy to say whatever it is you want to say because it's free country. But what you're not allowed to do is use keywords and other factors that I've already been talking about longer than 12 years. You see what I mean? And we're talking about, this is where social credit system scores and rankings come in. This is where we're all now judged by artificial intelligence in regards to our experiences, matching our meta tags that give us our meta descriptions on who we are. Now, you can either write to communicate with the public or you can write to communicate with AI. I choose to communicate with AI. My content is based on people, inverted pyramids, look that up. My content's right there in front of you. Because millennials and Gen Zs, they don't think anything like the greatest generation or any of the other generations before them. They are fast thinkers. They can scan a page. They know not to click on things. They are the intelligent end users. And so our content is designed so that our content is so good that it is used as a foundation for Google Ads and sponsors, which allows people to spend money on YouTube. And if you're going to spend money anywhere, folks, it's got to be Google and YouTube. You got to be faithful to them. It's just the way it is. You be faithful to them. But like I said, some developers, like with me, I go over the top, but I push the envelope so that we can learn what you have to do when there's a mistake. This is just part of creating a reliable system that you've thrown rocks at and stomped on it, and yet it still works. These are the things that most people don't know, but I do. So what we're doing here is, my question is, I want my mat to be on the top of this. See this? Now look. That's what I was showing you. No results found. No hashtag, no YouTube, nothing. There's all kinds of content with me. You can look up Durango Dank, you'll see. But my content is designed not to flush over here. Not yet. That connection comes. So my purpose of this is to try to find a wealth management person that not only can help us, because we did the Stars and Stripes Golf Tournament.com in July 12th. We raised over 160 grand. We've done this is our third event. Most people don't know. The media don't cover it here in Colorado. But one newspaper did. But the coverage is very nothing like what they could do. Everybody writes their articles as if they were tweeting a long tweet. That don't work no more. The harder you work to get content, the more you'll have authority over anyone else. And so obviously, when you look at this, these guys have content. More than what this mat has. The mat that we're looking for. For this, there's none of these have enough authority to bring up, there's their YouTube, but we don't know who that is. And see, I don't click on it. There he is. See what's missing? See, he's not talking enough about himself, and he's not supposed to. That's where you build organic content, and then you do your press releases so that the content that you have when your press releases come out, all your content will migrate to that because it's matching content. And if you have matching authors and matching this and matching that, then you're able to place people's conversation blocks and identity blocks in certain categories that when each one of these mats, see, they'd all need my help. But right now I'm only interested in helping the for Wealth Management, because we have an issue with our veterans not being able to understand, because the right people aren't educating. And this is where, telling is not selling, and more money's lost by indecision rather than wrong decision. And once you get into them probate lawyers, they will suck you dry because that's just what they do. They don't know. They're spinning it out. They're talking to you and talking to you and talking to you on the phone, and you go off into something, and you start talking about that, and then they bring you back into what they're supposed to talk about, and the next thing you know, you get a bill saying you owe them $3,000, and and it all started with a home that a father left for his kids for 500. This is a different story, folks. This is true. And this happened back in 1980, 84, maybe 85. I take that back. That's when we were doing the music part. I forget when it happened. But I wish I would have remembered the dates. But my guitar player's brother and them, he inherited a house, and his new wife contested it, but he wasn't in the boy's life, so he's just going to leave him the house as a payback, saying, "Hey, I'm sorry I wasn't there. Here, it's all I got. I'm giving you my house." It was worth 500 grand or something. It was paid off, no mortgage. The new wife, contested it, and so it went on back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and all of a sudden one day he gets a bill for $3,000 plus, telling him that the case is closed and that he owed $3,000. The house had to be sold in probate to cover all the legal costs. And so we can't let that happen. And that's what a wealth management does. They keep that from happening. They put plans in place so that you can know that when you're sleeping and you pass away, your wife, your family, you've already got it put in a trust account. You already built your family's trust in your name. You've got an incorporation under your family's name that nobody can penetrate. And it's not that much money. So when a guy goes, "Yeah, I'll do that," I had a couple hours to work on it. Yeah, but it's all his experience that makes him worth the $3,000 an hour that he gets paid, like what I do. So, but see, what I do, this is free. I'm showing a point. I'm doing a demo, and so I get up on a lot of different subjects so that we can gain more content authority of the words that we say because of the actions that we've already built in the background, so that Google and YouTube can make sponsors, so people that can write the web pages and pay, to be smart enough to pay for the sponsor ad. That's the other thing. Just because you put a sponsor ad up, doesn't mean it's going to go all to the people you want it to go to. It's going to go to the people of the experience that you have. So if you want to throw some big money and do all this stuff, but Google's not going to send someone that has a $100 million account to a greenhorn, because the greenhorn went and plagiarized his whole website because he just got out of college and he's 26 years old and his dad got him a few clients, and now boom. That don't work no more, folks. We have a thing called artificial intelligence. In 1992, there was a band, Black Sabbath, that came out with an album called Dehumanizer. On that album, there's a song called Computer God. You might not like the music, but you can read the lyrics and understand that guy, that band, was the disciples of Nostradamus. And we didn't even know about it. I know because I am. And everybody laughs when I say that, but these are people that don't know. And I say it just so they laugh. Why? So that our phones can pick up everything that we do, because it's reactionary now. Our voices are the new voice latent print, the new digital DNA, along with GPS, cell phone tower pings, and then all of our content that you think you're throwing away, depending on where you rank, what lists you are on, if you're on any government lists, and the majority of Americans are all on a list. You're not as free as you think you are. And when you try to go on DuckDuckGo thinking you're going to hide your identities from Google following you, well, think about it. If you go on the internet, okay, your service provider, there's nothing you can do to block that entrance. Nothing. You can do anything after that. But what happens is it sends a signal up to your internet provider that you're blocking your. When you go incognito, same thing. Same thing. Because you're trying to cloak, hide, whatever you're trying to do. And that doesn't make sense in a free world of the metaverse. And so what happens is these folks, depending on the list you're on, but if you go use DuckDuckGo, you're telling your internet provider that there's something that you're doing that you don't want to be in the name of privacy. So, being artificial intelligence, it has to understand because it doesn't want you to get in trouble, because that's what its purpose is for. Artificial intelligence. You can listen to all these fools right now talking about AI is going to destroy the world, robots are going. These are people that have been destroying the internet for decades. And it's only been up till now when you have people that have created DeepMind, they created the machines, the virtual machines that have learning capabilities. In order for it to learn, it has to have content. It has to be structured content in a way that the layers and layers and layers and layers and layers that you need in order for AI to be able to decipher, replicate, etc. It has to know these things. It has to, and then what it does is that now it can figure out sources. It can figure out what you need to do to take that source out and to make it prosper. So whatever that source is doing by sucking shit out, it's going to replace it, because you have to replace bad content with good content. My content, some of the videos I have, is some of it's just foul as you can get. And see, that keeps that kind of language keeps the different people that are judgmental. They don't get the picture. That's people I don't got to sell. That's people I don't got to waste my time with. So I throw all the rotten tomatoes that I can. So it keeps all the other people that are judgmental and don't understand that there's something behind the message. So they go off in their world. I got to waste my time. Those tomatoes didn't cost me nothing. Especially when I picked them up, cleaned them up, and I ate them for dinner on my sauce. Now, when you understand Maddie, or all the mats, if you will, I'm going to do this mat a favor. And then once it gets done, I'm going to have this mat call the other mat so that they can all put themselves the way they need to in their area. So when they Google search their names, it'll come up under their name and not these other mats. That's badass, folks. That's like Dewey Decibel stuff. And I learned that because my girlfriend in high school was a librarian, student librarian, and she could like do shorthand at 90 words a minute. Unbelievable girl. And I learned it because I'd go in there and just watch her, help her push the book rack and the book carts, and just I got to know all the smartest people in the school. It was amazing. I think any student wants to really learn about the books and the people that read them, be a librarian. Go into your school and just stay in there for a year or two and watch and learn and look at the people and look what they read, because your subconscious mind is indexing everything that you're gonna forget. to be recalled later on in life. And that's what AI does. Instead of waiting later on in life, we do it right now. And so one of the things that we use, and look, it stops. There's no more content. Why? Unlucky 13. It's because when it comes to me and what I do in my dashboard, look at, here's this Matt. He's the Institute, but Matt is missing. The at Matt, it's missing. So what that tells me is he's not really talking more about himself to differentiate himself from all these words from the other Matts. And so what this is telling you, this, if you hook up with this guy, he's going to do great things for you. Same with this YouTube. Same with this Matt. Because this Matt isn't this Matt. I'm not sure. Because I haven't clicked on it. Because it's not my job to click on it. See, if I clicked on that, then I told artificial... Well, you can click on it. It's called tag. Have you ever played the game Tag You're It? And then everybody runs around. Well, that's where tags come from, folks. Tags are the words we use to identify our skills and other content. I'm a Google operator. I use Google symbols to create deep mind algorithms to give me a prediction of what I think a certain event might happen based on the conversations of right now. Brilliant. And when I watch other people try to smoke and mirror me, it's a battle. The battle of the metaverse has begun. I've got a 13-year, well, since 1995. And then picked it up in 2006 and then became a Google partner in 2011. I'd like to say maybe 2013. Oh yeah, it's 2013. So, lucky 13. Everything around me is 13. So, when you take a look at these things, artificial intelligence on everybody's dashboard is different. So do you get stuff like this when you do things like this? But this is the stuff that we're going to use to make wealth management, the wizard, Matt, to help the veterans and their wives, grieving family members are protected in trusts so that the family can continue as if their father and husband was still alive. That makes me want to cry right now because just, my own experience with my father, but then watching my engineer talk about it, you just know the guy wants to just cry, dude. Let it out. Just because you're a man don't mean you can't cry. I cry. Whoa. The lines on my face are from crying and from standing out in the cold in 9 below zero trying to get signatures from people that don't want to have the time, don't want to stand outside in 9 below or 0-degree weather to sign something. And when they do, their handwriting is so, because they're shivering, doesn't show up as legitimate signatures. That's another quail to quash